Will Donald Trump pull out of NATO and destroy all of us? I think that's the question of the day. The legacy media is in a tailspin. They can't figure out what's going on. They are sinking by the day. The numbers have been crashing for years. Obviously, we have the President of the United States, current President of the United States, who can't seem to know what time of day it is. And we've got the past president, as Nolan Bowerly says, acting as a prime minister or a whip in essence, and really kind of starting to control the Republican Party that's in power, and he's not even in power. So we have an unbelievable time truly on our hands. But I think the NATO remarks are a stark contrast and a history lesson for most people, starting to understand that the U.S. pays most of what's going on there and gets what benefit from it. What benefit does the U.S. get from NATO? NATO has continually encroached on the deals they have made around the world. You go back to the Committee of 300. NATO is a platform of the Committee of 300, a military platform that they use. And that book, the Committee of 300, Conspirators' Hierarchy, is a great book. If you want to know what's going on in the world in the centuries of this process, this is the thing that I love history. I love getting to the root of problems. People love putting Band-Aids on bullet holes. And I'm talking people on all sides of the spectrum, especially legacy media, politicians. I in my heart of hearts, don't believe most people want to fix things. I think most human beings want to be lazy, and they want to, and I'm guilty of that too. We're all guilty of it. But we want to just, complain about things, and we want to just have things easy, and we just want to put Band-Aids on bullet holes. We want to throw money at problems, our cash at problems, and hope they go away. I think the most important part to think about, though, here is Donald Trump saying, we would have let Russia attack our NATO allies, or we're going to pull out, or whatever. And that's true. Maybe he'd not fund as much and he'd make other people step up and fund NATO more, which is a smart thing if you're going to have it around, which shouldn't even be around, in my opinion. Should not even be around. And the most important part, though, is we've talked about this before. The most important thing you can do is to walk around in society with your ears plugged. Just watch what people do. Watch what they are doing. Don't listen to what they say. Don't listen to their intentions. Don't listen to how great they say they are and what they think they have done in the past or about to do. It doesn't matter. Watch what people are doing. It is a fact. The last 4 years compared to the previous 4 years, 2016 to 2020, are very different than 2020 to 2024. Only from the perspective of doing as people say, not as they do. Donald Trump talked a big talk, but didn't do the things he was saying. He would say crazy, bombastic things, but wouldn't do them. And when you're negotiating on a world stage, again, I've never been a president in the United States. I've never led a Fortune 500 company or $1 billion+ company. However, I can only imagine what those conversations are like when you have dozens of people around you, security around you, hundreds, thousands, millions of people behind you that you're affecting by your decisions. And sometimes you need a little twitch in your eye. Donald Trump had that twitch in his eye. Maybe Ronald Reagan had that twitch in his eye. Some people have that twitch where you just kind of scare other people just enough to make them think you're that crazy that you just might pull the lever. You just might do it. And Trump has that. Like him, love or hate him, he has that. And I was not a fan of his. 2015, 2016, I was not a fan of his. I was straight up. And I got sucked into a little bit too much, my mental models telling me that I was too idealistic. And I still am a little bit too idealistic maybe at times. But I was a little bit too idealistic and not pragmatic enough. And you have to watch what people are doing, not what they're saying. And when you get caught up in the media just bombarding you all the time, or other people or anyone saying anything about, he's going to do this, he's going to try to mind read people, and then they don't do that, you have to then update your models. And that's what Trump did. People said all these things about him, and then he did the opposite. He did things to get the country on its feet, but more or less get us out of wars, not start new wars. Those were the most important things. And what has Biden done since then? Biden, they said, he's not going to start any wars. He's going to be the guy of peace. He's going to be strong and keep us safe. And what has he done? Exactly the opposite of that. Borders completely broken and open, flowing people in from all over the world. We have no idea. I just talked to one of our friends down from Mexico, lives on the Arizona side now, said that there are no Spanish or English speaking people coming across the border right now. Think about that. So we have people have no idea who's coming over the border. You have to kind of smile and smirk about it because you'd cry if not. So that's kind of why I'm smirking right now. It's predictable, I guess, too. I mean, you get what you vote for. And he's got us into Ukraine, got us into the Middle East again. We're bombing people all over the Middle East now, drone striking people. We have SEALs dying off the coast of Somalia. Yeah, I know clandestine operations are going on with Trump as well. But that's the world we live in, a world where we are going to be gaslit and told certain things, but then the opposite happens. Or do we want Orange Man bad and a guy yelling and tweeting and nothing bad happens, or very little bad happens compared to what's happening now? And so it makes me think, what do we as humans want? Is it we just want to feel good? We just want to be told, sweet nothings and kumbaya. We get to sing at the fire, but like we don't actually have to see the bad things that are happening in life. We don't actually there necessarily. So like, who cares? This guy at least talked nice, Brand. He talked nice. But Orange Man, oh boy, he's just not presidential. He's just a SOB. He's a terrible person. But he kept us out of stuff and he shut other bad stuff down. So you tell me. The moral of this story, though, is not to say Biden this, Trump that. This is not the moral of the story. The whole point is use this in your own life. I'm using them as an example. The most important part is to walk around in your life. Watch what people do, not what they say. Watch what they do, not what they say. Watch what people do, not what they say. If we walked around with our hands plugging our ears, we would get much further in life and we get much closer to the truth in life. I think it's a lesson for all of us. It's something we can all take because we get distracted by the hot air. We get distracted by the persuasion. We get distracted by the talk. Watch what people do, not what they say. Please share this out. Question everything, boldness, even the existence of God himself. Trust, but verify. And this is not financial advice. It's freedom advice. We'll see you in the next one.